You're good to go.
Oh, okay, yeah. You know, usually a countdown goes down. But anyway, we're gonna. How are we stumbling at the first hurdle? Welcome everybody to the Combat Report. I'm Stu, the announcer, and I am proud to be joined by three lovely compatriots of mine here at Combat Championship Series. First of all, the owner and proprietor, live from Fort Worth, Texas. It's BG.
How's it going, Stu?
It's going. And then coming to us live from Kentucky, it is Smitty. How you doing, my man?
Pretty good. Thanks for having me.
And of course, coming from live inside of a tin can, presumably, it's Tiger Tosser. What's going on?
Hey, not a whole lot in this tin can, man.
That's right.
It's all good. Hey, you know what? It's all good. The acoustics are canned, and so is the heat. That's how we do.
That's
but
right.
No, we've got. Yeah, we take it in stride, right? But we've got a lot to get to on the Combat Report this time. Episode 35, the first of the revival of the Combat Report. So yeah, we're glad to be here with y'all. But we have a lot to talk about, just kind of within the past 2 weeks in the world of fighting games. First and foremost, Mai Shirunui.
Just want to say something right quick before we start. Just want all our fans out there that, it's been a year and a half since we've been doing this show. Me and Mark got two compatriots on here, Smitty and Stu. Thank you guys. But last show we had a little issue with Mark calling DJ Usher, and we had to take a little time off to get Mark straight again. So all you fans out there in the Combat Report, it took a long time, but we're back. Mark, anything you would like to say to the people out there about your marks back then?
So
I'm muting.
I took some time off. Really got to think about a lot of things. Back then in 2023, that joke was 19 years too late, and it was a bad joke. And honestly, my everything is kind of gone, haywire since then. I got canceled. I lost the wife and kids. That entire Usher joke really costed me a lot. So yeah, I'm starting back up to ground zero. I have this tin can webcam. I got this Turtles Beach from 2012 over here. So just starting back up, man. But I'm excited to be back with y'all.
Thank you, Mark. Glad to hear that you've corrected your ways and baby steps. And
I mean, it's part of the healing process.
That, we're not gonna have that kind of shenanigans on this show anymore. So don't worry about that. Don't worry about that. We got to run.
And now that you got me and Smitty here, we have all new shenanigans to get ourselves. Just so many fresh ways to cancel ourselves. I'm really happy to get into it. And I'm sure that this will not present any sort of controversy at all. Mai released in Street Fighter 6. Y'all.
Hey, DJ and Usher fans, hey, we got you. Not gonna have that no more.
Absolutely. And now that we've gotten past that, let's be four dudes talking about a girl in fighting games. Mai releasing in Street Fighter 6.
That's right.
First impressions, we all got our hands on the character. What are y'all thinking about it? Just your hands-on first impressions, because I feel like there's been a lot of back and forth considering how Mai is going to play into competitive, but really just like in casual matchups as well.
Well, I want to start off by saying I'm going to get canceled right now, okay?
Oh,
because the jiggle physics is great. It is awesome. You said hands on the character. You immediately put me in a different area.
Dear Lord!
All right.
So let's talk.
I've been started! I'm putting my face to this!
I've been watching a lot of videos.
Tell you how you feel.
All right.
I've been watching a lot of videos from all the other content creators. A lot of players way better than I am. And the one who stands the most out to me is Nephew. Nephew playing.
I need you to specify what kind of videos, but because of those,
Wow.
I'm glad. Oh yeah. Yes.
Don't. I'd say send me the URL, but this is a professional setting.
YouTube. We were doing a lot of YouTube right now. A lot of kid friendly. Got to check that box. Is made for kids.
Gameplay.
Thank you.
Yes.
The core values are not being violated.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Right.
She in Nephew's hand and some of the people I've seen, she looks really good. When I'm playing with her,
Recording.
I struggle with some of the combo routes that you have to do, and but I'm getting better the more I play with her. But watching the professionals play with her, I think in the right hands, she's going to be very dangerous. Somebody who's okay. I feel like she's a character where you do a lot of throw mix-ups, and someone who's okay with that, they're going to be really good with her. And I was talking to BG, and I told him when I was growing up, throwing was banned when I was growing up. So you could get in fights in the arcade, fights at home for throwing somebody in a fighting game. So for me playing her, it's really hard for me to throw people, where throwing is very important for her character. It's very important for a lot of characters I play in Street Fighter 6. And so, but for someone who is okay with that, they're going to be pretty good with their throw mix-ups. I think you're going to see in Capcom Cup, someone's going to play her. If they're down and out, they're gonna give it a try. And I think Nephew's gonna be the one, and he's gonna probably show what she can do on a high level play. But he's really, really legitly good already with her. So I really like. I think maybe this time next year we'll really know how she is as a character compared to everyone else.
Yeah, I'm so glad you brought up that whole like old school thing where it's just like, you're not allowed to throw. Now I get to throw you. It's like, no, dude. Like I punished you because you were blocking. Like it's in the game. What do you mean you're not allowed to? That brought back so many memories.
Hey, look, I told BG I got punched in the arcade twice off winning games. It was a different time then. It's just you did not throw, and now
it's like, God, I mean, honestly, just stop being a punk, bro. Just like learn to like if you're not hitting a button when I'm coming up to throw you, I'm sorry, that's your problem. Like,
No, you're right. Another player that I want to shout out that player so far since Kazunoko, he has shown her to be amazing with her ninja bees, her basically full screen kind of rush down mechanic. She looks incredible. Also, she's very good in the corner. Her throw loops are very good. She has strong pokes and neutral. I really do think that she right now is a mid-tier character, but just like Smitty said, she's going to take about a year to see fully how good she's going to be. Her projectile, her fan throw. As far as normal, it's not that good unless it's within neutral. But the EX fan throw, I think, is pretty good because it does hit twice.
Oh yeah, the bouncing.
The bouncing, right?
Making it bouncing.
Very much so. Yeah.
Man, come on.
Shout out to Mark and all the nasty boys out there. I see.
I see. I was about to say, because in terms of guest characters, in these games, because we had Terry and obviously in the same game, and now we have Mai. I mean, where do you rank her in terms of like how the guest characters, appearances in certain games? Because obviously, I think immediately to Baiken and Samurai Showdown, and just because she seemed to be pretty faithful, considering you're adapting an entire other character's like moveset from an entirely different game into the machine of like another one. So it's like, how do you necessarily do that? But like certain games do that pretty well. I mean, I think to like the Street Fighter characters in Smash, for example, is probably the best that Ken has ever looked in 3D. And obviously Bike and the Sam Show. Now you got Mai in Street Fighter 6, and it feels like they translated like KOF kind of stuff pretty well into the Street Fighter engine.
Yeah,
well,
they did.
What I seen they did for the, we'll get to the Evo, but when they were doing the Evo show, they did a lot of the Fatal Fury gameplay, and one of the matches was Punk versus Ash, and one of them was using Mai, and looking at the comparison on how Fatal Fury treated her to how Capcom, the move sets and things that she did, it seemed like it was very close. They kept it as close as I guess they could to fit into the game of Street Fighter. And we know this is Terry and her is the first characters outside of Capcom to be in a Street Fighter game. So I feel like they did a good job, and I think they picked two good characters to represent the first characters into the game in that way. I'm curious to see if they ever do it again. It'd be interesting to see, but like you said, other games seem to do it pretty well, and I would look at Mortal Kombat as the company who they have. That's their thing. It's like different characters from movies and everything. And I even go back to, I think, like Soul Calibur did like some of the Jedi characters, and so for
I mean they
Capcom,
had Link in the GameCube version. Yeah,
see, and
Darth
for
Vader and
Capcom
all
to
that.
do
Yeah.
it, it was just different. I wouldn't. I knew they were doing a good job, but right now I feel like she can be really good. It's just gonna take that one player to show the world how good she can be.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. I think it is going to take a while. Right now, she's mid-tier, in my opinion. But over time, I think she will get better. And as far as the character, they did a really good job with the mechanics and just how good of a character she is. Because when they first showed her, it was a little more of a rough draft, but overall, they really did a good job of transferring her from the SNK world.
Yeah, hard to disagree with that. And speaking of how Capcom is doing in the future, we can talk a little bit, I suppose, about the Capcom Cup draw. The group stages for Capcom Cup 11 have been released, and definitely an interesting breakdown. All 8 groups have killers in them for sure, but I mean, I'm just kind of wondering, like, has that draw, have the bracket pads, been looking intriguing for you guys? Because I'm looking at some of these matchups in specific groups. There's one that comes to mind for me specifically. What might be the group of death? I was wondering if any of y'all had an opinion on it, though.
Yeah, I definitely do. On the group of death, I really do think it's got to be looking right now. It's got to be Group F probably. Jack, Lashar, Big Bird, and Oil King, and Shin.
Yeah.
That group right there it's a lot of heavy hitters. It could be any of those guys, but right now I'm thinking Big Bird and Lashar take it out of that group. But like you said, it's all about how you're feeling that day. If you're on the roll, all of those things. Did you get enough sleep? Where you are mentally? But I thought a lot of these groups look really good as far as that. But that to me is what I would think is the group of death.
I can't bet against Big Bird. He shows up on the big stage. What, 2-time Evo second place? He shows up on the big stage.
Well, the problem is that on, I don't know, the last 2 Capcom Cups, he has been kind of snake bitten by being in groups where he just lost the game or two. Because in group rounds and the round robin, it's a little different.
Yeah.
You losing one game could be crucial.
Very crucial.
Yeah.
Before the groups came out, I said Punk's gonna win. I didn't care what group they put him in. I just feel like this probably is his year. He's typically always there. You could always say he can win, and you know that's be a safe guess. But I really feel like this year is his year, and even in his group, I love Phenom. I thought Phenom was probably the 3rd best player in Street Fighter 5. So I think him and Phenom are going to get out that group, and then I don't really see anyone else really that I think could beat Punk based off the groups. I think my other sleeper is Dual Kevin. I think a lot of people are sleeping on Dual Kevin. That group's really hard, but right now I feel like Dual Kevin could probably win that group. I know Taquito's in there. I know Kakaru is one of my favorite players in there, but I think Dual Kevin is amazing, and he plays Rashid too also. So I just think he is my sleeper to go far. And my other sleeper, and we're gonna get to this, is Item. Item's playing amazing right now.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Yes. He finally figured it out.
Yeah, and that's scary. That's scary because we know when he figures it out, he can do. I hate to call him a sleeper because
but he's not done great. He's not done great in 6 yet.
Yeah. So Group F, that you guys are right. That is the group of death when you really look at it.
Yeah, I do kind of want, and you brought up Idom, who actually just qualified for Kumite via the tournament at Genesis X2, the only USA qualifier. And yeah, I do happen to agree. Like, yeah, no, he definitely could make a deep run. You brought up Group F, which is an interesting point. The one that I was looking at, honestly, Group G might be tough because like Nephew,
Oh yeah,
Knuckle Dew, and yeah, I mean Kaba. I don't know about people sleeping on Kaba. Real
yeah,
talk,
Yeah.
and not to mention you
Zhao
cannot
Hai.
discount even though like this is even though it's a different game where he won Evo Xiaohai.
But
Like
he
you're
did
talking
win this
about
for
someone who could take advantage of a King of Fighters character and that being added into this game. It may very well be Xiaohai. Not to discount the contributions of the European combatants in there. Kills You and Juicy Joe. I mean, that seems like one of those groups. There is a very real chance we see one of those four Xiaohai, Kaba, Knuckle Dew, and Nephew just straight up get knocked out.
yes.
Yeah.
Zhao won the
Sports World Cup.
World Cup
Yeah.
too. So
Mhm.
Very true.
he could easily win that group. But like you just said, any of them, some of them guys are going maybe not win the game. It'd be
Sure.
crazy to see,
Yeah.
but that's
There's a
how deep
chance.
that group is. There is a chance that you know one of them, like you said, I don't want to discredit. Killju is great, Juicy Joe is great, and I don't want to
Yeah.
discredit them. They could pull an upset, and
Yeah.
it could really hurt. You can't lose a match in that group. You really can't.
Yeah, no, like there is plenty of opportunity for Kills You and Juicy Joe to play spoiler in that. And
Yes.
like the thing is, you look at all these groups, like, and obviously there are names that jump out in Group H, Angry Bird. You have Mena RD in Group E, but I don't really see anything being like a true walk for
Right.
anyone. I mean, like Punk, you have to think, okay, like the kid's got it, but I don't necessarily think that these groups, especially in the group format, it grinds on you just a little bit
Hmm.
more. Like, you can say that, like, okay, you definitely find out who the best of the best are in that setting, but also, like, there's a chance to just blow it if you have an off day. Like, you can't afford to have an off day.
No, you can't.
You
Yeah.
really
No,
can't.
this is just like the NFL playoffs. Have to
Yeah.
bring it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And
Absolutely.
I texted this to BG earlier. I didn't notice this until today, but there's no offline qualifier, last chance qualifier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's normally the last chance qualified person. Well, I think in the last year they went to Group H automatically, and this year there isn't, and I didn't know that until today. And so, I believe it makes it a little easier. You don't have to worry about a person who played the whole week already being ready to play in the group, and right now they all can study everybody in their group.
Yeah.
That's a really good point about that. Yeah, I don't know why I didn't notice. That was a great point, Smitty, that they don't have a last chance qualifier. And another person that nobody is really talking about is Noah the Prodigy.
Yeah.
This guy really
Oh,
under
dude, yeah.
pressure is a player. And I'm looking at his group. If he makes it out of his group, watch out. Because that guy right there under pressure for his age is incredible.
Yes.
If you saw him at Frosty Faustings and also some of the Capcom tournaments offline, his mind games and the way he can test composure under pressure is really good. And I really want to see how he does.
I
Because
don't
I think
think
he's on the edge. I think he's on the verge.
you
Yeah,
can't practice for what he does. He'll burn
Yes.
himself out in the first 10 seconds, but you
Yes.
don't know he's burnt out the way he's playing. He
Yeah.
plays and burnt out sometimes better than he plays when he's got meter.
Yes.
He takes chances, he's dangerous. It gets him in trouble sometimes, but most of the times it works out. That's why he's in Capcom Cup.
Yes. And he takes it serious.
Yeah.
Like for his age,
Very
I'm
true.
very impressed how serious he takes this. And his training regimens, I don't know if you guys see, insane for his age. For being only 18 years old, if he really gets on a roll, he's my dark horse to win this. As far as my favorite to win is Kakaru. His JP is he's figured out JP. I think that he is really, really close right now. And I think that he's my favorite. Even though he's in a tough group, I think he's got a chance to win it.
Mm. No, I happen to agree with you there, and that's I do kind of wonder what the general vibe is going to be like around someone like Noah the Prodigy just kind of I don't know. Like this group is not free, and when you're talking about unknown quantities, like individuals from Panama or Bangladesh,
Yeah.
qualifying for this thing.
And then another thing that nobody's
I don't
talking
know.
about, I just want to bring up. Remember, the Japanese players are not traveling for the first time. That's
Right.
something that nobody is talking about. They are having home turf for the first time. They're used to having to adjust a whole day and a half ahead when they are going to tournaments. So for Conqueror to be at home
Hmm.
and Fudo and those guys,
And
watch out.
Taquito in Kakaru's group.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
That's going to be something to see and how they do that. And again, got to say about Men RD. We've not said nothing about Men RD.
Yeah.
Capcom Cup is his.
Yes.
If it's one tournament where you got to watch out for him, is Capcom Cup.
And no one's talking about him for real as
No,
being he's 2-time champ and no one's talking about you. He's still good. He's
Yes.
still one of the best.
Yeah.
he's still one of the best. Because I don't know if you guys saw. He put out a tweet last night that said, "I wish I could dream about Street Fighter 6. I don't. 24 hours is not enough." That nigga's ready.
Damn.
Yeah, he put that out last night. Oh, he's training.
Damn.
Yeah,
Damn.
he's on that word Jones G. Y'all must have forgot.
So, so if I could just change the subject real fast, I mean, people do not realize again, like how much work those fighters put in, whatever. I do want to talk about a group of people who do not have their work recognized quite as much as perhaps they should. Tournament organizers.
Oh
And
man.
one of the parts of the discourse that came up, and I know that BG is going to be happy about this, has a lot to say about this subject. A couple of weeks ago, someone put out something saying that there's a costs are increasing in terms of entry for the players, and they're thinking that tournament organizers are could be stealing from the community. Like, what value are they bringing to this to this if they're just going to increase costs, but we just get the same thing, or just something along those lines? Honestly, I forget what the exact verbiage is, and I'm not going to give this person the satisfaction of being named on this podcast because, frankly, they're just doing it to be incendiary. But I do want to talk to the people who have experience with this, and I will have a few figures to throw around for context. But BG, Tiger Tosser, you two have seen the back end of what it costs to run a tournament. I mean, not even just locals, but which y'all do obviously,
Yeah.
but also like bigger tournaments where you're getting names out and you're having to pay for stream costs, you're having to pay for venue costs, you're having to do all these things and account for them. And it really is not the easy endeavor that people, would imagine it to be, BG.
No, absolutely not. The venue costs, if you're a bigger tournament like a CEO, Common Breaker, internet cost is massive. Also, if you have guests like we've had in the past, also getting vendors out to events, getting sponsors involved, all of that, it is not anything that you need to take on if you want to become rich. Okay.
Yeah.
It is something where it's a very labor of love. Anybody who's thinking we're rich off of this, me and Tiger Toss are definitely not from
No,
doing
not at
this.
all.
You're gonna lose money from doing
Yeah,
it.
look at Tiger Tosser's camera. He's not rich.
Yeah,
Yeah,
look
no,
at
no,
it.
hey
Look
man.
at it. I have to blur my background because I don't want you guys to know where I'm living. So that's where I am right now. So yeah, that person who said that, I don't know if they've ever been to a tournament or even talked to a tournament organizer. It is a lot of work for very little financial compensation.
Honestly, I don't know if you've seen this thing about Moist Critical. He said this. He owns
Yeah.
he literally said he's lost like $4 million like running his own esports team, and he's like, and I would do it again because I love it that much. But it's like you do
Bless
not.
him for that.
Yeah, you really don't make money from it. It's
Mhm.
honestly like, I mean, honestly, like me and BG, we throw. We're not gonna go in like specifics about it, but we throw a good amount. We throw a
Yes.
good amount. That is like, it's not like something that is like
Mhm.
something for like a small bill. It's something that it would be. It's a lot of love. It's a lot of dedication and a lot of like stuff you got to do. And people don't realize it's like if you're not sponsored like us, we have to buy all these DLC too. Like
Yes.
we like me and Brian have had so many events where we forgot one DLC for 3 different accounts, and then
Mhm.
boom, that's like
One
$40.
spot. One spot. No
And
choice. None of that.
that's the thing is,
Mm.
and like most people, and like, and then if you get equipment, if you get these games, man, like we're not sponsored either, so we buy these games too, and we have 3 or 4 different sets of these games when they come out. That's the
Mm.
thing is like people don't really realize that, and then honestly, like you know, the money we make and everything like that, it's I'm not gonna say it's like we're like we're not rolling in dough. It's more just like we're doing this because we're using this for the next event. We're using this for the next part. We're gonna use this to get something else, and that's the thing a lot of people don't realize, and a lot of people are always like, man, like you should. What are you gonna be doing with the money you make? And I'm just like, oh, we're gonna use it against for something else. I'm like, huh? You know,
Yeah, it's
You're
just
reinvesting it.
reinvesting. That's it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
you have to
It's
reinvest everything you get.
And
Yeah.
I'm just, if I could add a little bit of context here, I mean, I'm just going to pull up 2 sources. One is an anonymous source within the DFW area,
Hmm.
where it is a venue that I will not disclose here, an individual that I will not disclose, but there's someone who runs a venue that is, known for they host events, and the cost for that venue, I mean, 36,000 a day, and half for setup days.
Hey.
So
Yeah.
yeah, you're talking about, this is a big time venue that hosts big things. So
Yeah.
it's very tough to, get that kind of an insight, and like the budget and the scope of an event obviously goes hand in hand. So the more that you're making, the more that you're reinvesting. People like Jabali, who I believe put out a tweet in 2022 saying like, oh, well, why not just move CEO to the Orange County Convention Center in Orlando? Like it's easy. First of all, just do
Right.
that.
Nope.
Finally, put CEO Taku in alongside Hallmat because it was cost effective. But just doing that, internet alone cost $300,000, and that was
Yeah.
for
Internet's
that.
insane.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, and that was in 2022, like when the costs weren't quite spiking that hard. Now to just run it alone and like just out of Orange County Convention Center, you're probably looking at $500,000.
Yep.
And in order to cover that, back in 2022, would have had to charge $500
Mhm.
for venue. Like
Yep.
this is the sort of thing that you're talking about that people I don't think really consider when it comes to the cost of running these bigger things.
Yeah.
I would like to say that when I was traveling and going places and playing, the one thing I would always try to do is meet the TO. And that's how me and BG even meet. I go to a tournament and I got there a little late so I couldn't even participate, but I was still there. And the first thing I did was I found the person who was doing it and I introduced myself to him, shook his hand, thanked him. And now I'm here sitting with him. And, now I consider him a good close friend actually. And I feel like if I was to reach out to BJ, like, hey man, I'm having a bad day, he would sit and listen. It's just the TOs don't get the credit that they deserve. And a lot of people, especially someone like me who doesn't know until I really meet TOs, I don't know what goes on in that, but everybody has this idea that they're just collecting all this money and getting rich. And in reality, I really haven't seen a rich one. I
Nope.
assume the big guys are rich, but I don't know how much money they actually take home, you
That's
know?
that's what's so ridiculous to me. Is it's like,
Right.
oh, I see this person who's like, just kind of becoming famous on the internet, and they don't do anything at the tournaments. It's like you have no idea
Mhm.
what they do in between tournaments. You
Yeah.
have no clue.
No
Like
clue.
none.
Right.
Like
No, it's right back to the grind, and I thank you, Smitty, for that. Introducing yourself and then us being friends now and all of that, because that does not happen a lot. Tiger Tosser knows that. Most of the time, the only time you hear from the players is when something's wrong, when it's lag or my bracket doesn't look right. I've had people say, "This is my brother. We play all the time. Like it's 500 people in the tournament." Hey, we do the best we can. We try to make it as fair, as friendly, as inviting as possible. But you can't please everybody.
Mhm.
But it is a labor of love, just like Tiger Tosser said. Because every cent that we make, we reinvest.
Yep.
You know, is not going home to anything that I would like to buy.
Yep. So we're going to get into our quick hits. We're getting close to the end of the episode, but just going to throw out a couple of things. First of all, as we mentioned prior, Kumite qualifier, the only one in the United States, was at Genesis X2. I just so happened to be there, so I witnessed IDOM taking it in a reset, Game 5 over Nephew, after Nephew won the winner's final by the same score. IDOM's form looking really good, and now is headed to Paris as a result of it. What do you expect from IDOM in the biggest tournament, one of the biggest tournaments of the year, Roundtable Cup?
It's coming together for him, and there was a discourse on him. If he had picked a better character, would he already be where he is now? You know, and that's the scary part. What happens if they next season for Street Fighter 6 put a Laura or a Poison in there and they play anywhere near like Street Fighter 5 and IDOM is already good at the concept of Street Fighter 6? So
God help us.
It's over. It's over because in Street Fighter 5 he was number 2 at the worst.
When he learned Street Fighter 5, he was amazing, and now he's learning Street Fighter 6.
He's almost there.
He's almost there, and he might win Capcom Cup. He might go to Kumite and win it. You know, you never know now.
Could very well, and we'll have to see who qualifies from Canada at the Battle of BC. That's coming up in just a couple of weeks at the start of March. Now, next quick hit, the EVO Awards. I'm just wondering, anyone have any comment on that? Because honestly, the floor is yours. I don't have a lot to say, but it's up to y'all.
Anybody have something to say?
Oh man,
because I do.
I like, as someone that loves Marvel's Capcom 2, and I was very into Marvel's Capcom 2 growing up and seeing the tournaments and whatnot. It was really cool seeing that Legends, Tournament Legends, seeing John Choi, Justin Wong. Seeing Justin Wong not win it was really cool, but seeing Sanford and Yipes playing at it was really cool. I think that's honestly the coolest thing. But yeah, it was there's a lot of
you can say it. It's fine.
It's the FGC. It feels like the event, instead of being about the FGC, where it's about community, the fighting game community, it was like more about the fighting game clout. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
And
it felt. I mean, it's an award show for a corporate entity, thus it's going to feel just a little bit masturbatory. Like, that's just the nature of the thing. But yeah, they get to say that it was fan voted and everything. So I guess they do have that going.
Yeah, I'm glad that you brought fan voting. If I could just speak for a moment about that. To all of those people out there, because yes, before that, I do want to agree with Tiger Tosser, the tournament champions. It really did bring a tear to my eye to see Sanford Kelly, see John Choi, see Justin Wong, and Yipes.
Alex Five. Hall of Fame, yeah.
And Alex Five, boy.
I forgot.
Did you guys see that?
Fully deserved.
I told this to Smitty. Did you guys see that video of the Evo video on Alex Five?
Oh,
Smitty, please watch it. I teared up. I don't care if you go and make fun of me. That video, Smitty, if you don't tear up, it goes back to the 90s. Okay. That video, if you're our age group, that really, because they show him talking about Street Fighter from back in the day. They have all these clips of before the FGC was the FGC. One of the best videos I've ever seen. Please, all you guys watch it.
Okay.
It's one of the best. They go back to Circuit City. Not Circuit City, Circus.
Yeah.
Yes, it's so good, y'all. That is one of the best videos I've ever seen. I teared up.
And that's perfectly cool, because that emotion is going to be there long after the corporate entities are gone. So
exactly,
that is what the FGC is all about. And
I just want to say something else. Wait. I got something. I need to address some people out there. All right, the people who voted for best button out there, the award for best button. I don't know if you guys saw on Twitter. There was a lot of people upset about who won Best Button, which was Kim crouching medium kick. All you people out there, I just want to let y'all know.
Oh,
They're
no.
going crazy about that award and all of that. These are probably the same people who think Insane Clown Posse is the best rap duo in the world. That's all I got to say.
Yeah, and really we know that it's Hugo's standing heavy kick because that one high owl that set got him the pop off. So there you go.
I'm tired of people always sitting there having fake outrage over the Best Button award.
Yeah.
I don't awards.
Yeah.
The Best Button award. I saw those people.
Bro,
And I'm just saying, shout out to Shaggy Cheetah.
All hail Hugo, all hail High Owl. And last second,
right.
the last segment, I do want to point out, we are just a couple days away from Fatal Fury City of the Wolves, the open beta. Folks, I'm going to be playing this obsessively, so you might not be in contact with me for the next 4 days.
Yeah.
But what are you looking forward to the most about the beta?
For me, I am looking forward to seeing what this dodge attacks are going to be about. Wild Crush, the SPG gauge, the
Did you play it already?
Hey, I've been looking. Hey, I'm ready. I got my cheese balls. Hey, listen, I'm gonna be right there. There's no life. Once Thursday comes, I am there. I've been watching videos. Shout out to Maximilian, Rufelmonger, Neo Geo now. I've been watching all the videos. I'm ready to play Preacher. I'm ready to play Kane. Terry, of course.
Andy?
Andy's not in the beta. Not in the beta. He's a DLC character.
Yeah, he's the first character.
DLC.
Oh yeah, that's right. It is DLC, but
hit me up for games. I'll be eating my cheese balls. It's cold as hell outside. I don't do cold, so yeah, I am ready for this.
And same.
I'm gonna bring it all the way back. I really just want to see if the jiggle physics in Mai is the same as in Fatal Fury as it is in Street Fighter 6. Because if it's not, then I'm just gonna stick with Street Fighter 6. You see, that's just me.
Yeah. You may well have to wait for when Chun-Li is added as a DLC character in season 1 in the winter of this year, folks. That's just going to have to do it for us here on the Combat Report. The revival has gone about as poorly as you would imagine. Thank you so much for watching. We hope that you tune in to the rest of us, folks. If you have not done so already, go ahead and smash that subscribe button and comment what you think of the show, what you think we can improve aside from Mark's camera and microphone. So with all that being said, folks, for BG, Tiger Tosser, and Smitty, I'm Stu the announcer. Thank you so much for watching. Remember, no matter your battle, touch gloves and come out fighting.